So we are into our first week of social isolation / school being gone / exams being cancelled / everything is incredibly weird at the moment. How do you stay motivated in this period of transition? I'm going to be sharing a few tips and tricks and strategies, most of which that I am using myself to make sure that I am staying motivated, productive, healthy and happy. Video helping you through this lockdown, self-isolation, quarantine kind of time in terms of motivation and work ethic and how to stay productive with your schoolwork as well as outside. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so before we move on to how to stay motivated, I want to talk about why you should stay motivated with your schoolwork specifically at the moment. So we are potentially missing more than a whole term's worth of work. And if you were to miss that, obviously, whatever stage you're at, that's going to have massive knock-on effects later on if you don't work hard now. What do I mean by that? Year 10, if you're in year 10 now, when it comes to GCSE, it's going to be a problem with the exams if you haven't been working. Same with year 12 into year 13, same in year 13 into university. You're going to need to know this knowledge later on down the line and you will regret it if you don't stay focused. Now, on a more positive note, it's also a really good opportunity for you. It's a great opportunity to become an independent learner. Now, this might not sound that amazing. It's not exactly a superpower being an independent learner. I would argue it actually is. It's one of the most important skills that I ever learned. And if you're thinking about going to university, it's going to be essential, but also throughout your whole career and life. If you learn how to learn, if you learn how to stay motivated and love learning under your own fuel, that's going to make your life so much better. You're going to be so much more motivated to get out there and absorb the world. Okay, number one way to stay motivated, and that is keep structure in your day. Now, suddenly you don't have a lot of structure in your day. School has suddenly been shut, which was giving you lessons. You had to be certain places at certain times. It was giving you routine and discipline. Now, obviously, schools have given different amounts of structure. Some are still giving online lessons. Others are just giving you a massive wodge of work and saying, get on with it. Either way, you need to find your own structure in your day. Now, what is the best way to get structure in your day? It's a timetable. This is much easier said than done. If you've ever tried to make a decent timetable, it's actually really difficult because if you've got all your subjects and lots of topics that you're trying to cover and you're trying to keep track of what needs to be done when, and how are you going to do it, and your schedule's going to constantly be changing as you progress as well. Finding this problem, then you're going to be really pleased to know that there's a fantastic app that does all this for you. It's a free app called Adapt, A-D-A-P-T. Why is this app so good for keeping structure and progressing in your learning? Well, firstly, Adapt has every single syllabus preloaded into the system. So let's say you're doing Edexcel GCSE history, you can type that into the search bar, it comes up, and then it preloads that into your plan. So it has every single topic that you need to cover, and it suggests a timeline that you should cover them in. You can then load those topics onto your daily tasks and set a notification for a certain time so it buzzes in your pocket and you can never forget to do that work. Once you've completed that particular topic, you can then click on it, you can review how hard you found it or easy you found it, you can say how long it took, and then in that way it can track your progress over time, which is going to make you feel motivated. It's not just work that you want to be scheduling, you want to have a life as well, so you can just add those things as tasks. Is it a workout at 8:30 a.m? Is it watching a movie with your mum? Is it, going on the house party app and having a chat with your friends? Whatever it is that keeps life good, put it in your schedule as well, because otherwise you might not make time for it, and it's really important to do so. You can also put in any deadlines, whether that's self-made deadlines or school deadlines like homework or tests, so you never miss a beat. Another way of keeping structure to your day is making sure that you're keeping roughly to a 9 to 3 or a 9 to 4 or a 9 to 5 kind of schedule. Try and work within your school hours. Now, what this will mean as well is going to bed on time. Don't get stuck into watching movies really late until 2 a.m. and then being knackered the next morning because you feel like you can lie until 11. Don't let yourself become unself-disciplined during that time, because in the long haul it's going to make you feel rubbish and it's going to make you fall behind. A good psychological technique to making sure that you're working during working hours is maybe just get dressed into your uniform. It sounds pretty extreme and it might be a bit weird working in your bedroom in your uniform when you don't need to, but what it will signify to you or your brain is that it is work mode. When you're in your school uniform, that is when you work. When you're in your pajamas, that's when you chill. Okay, how to stay motivated, technique number 2, and that is learn something that you've always wanted to do but never had time. Suddenly you've got probably loads of time in your hands. How do you use it effectively, and how do you feel like you're not just wasting loads of time on Netflix or gaming or whatever? It's to do something productive. Learn something that you've always wanted to do that never had the chance to. Maybe it's to become a rock god on the guitar. Maybe it's to get a giant six-pack. Maybe it's to become a professional tiddlywinks player. Maybe you've always wanted to learn astrology. Maybe there's loads of books that you've always wanted to read but never have had the time. All these things are great things that you can start doing in your day, and again, just makes it feel like an opportunity rather than a drag. And the more you set yourself with exact goals in this area, the better. My version of this is setting myself a self-isolation challenge of becoming fluent in Spanish in 3 months. I'm actually setting up an adjacent YouTube series on this. I'm going to be releasing the first one later on this week. If you'd like to see how I get on with that, or maybe you'd like to learn along with me, please do subscribe to get notified of when that comes out. Number 3 motivation technique is keep your learning varied. Now, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, if you've just been given a worksheet that you have to plow through, or you've got a textbook and you're just reading and then answering questions and then reading and then answering questions, it's going to get really boring and monotonous really quickly. So a few ways that you can mix it up is just, again, schedule it in your app. Say 9 a.m. you're going to do a mind map that's going to take 45 minutes of something in history. You're then going to change it. You're going to watch half an hour of a YouTube video on another topic and take notes. You're then going to do a quiz. You're then going to have a Skype with a friend who speaks French and you're going to have a dialogue. Do you know what I mean? Just make sure you're doing lots of different things that are varied and going to keep learning interesting. Motivation tip number 4 is to stay social. We're social creatures as human beings, and after a while being isolated, we are going to get a bit stir crazy, even if we're just with, let's say, our family the whole time. So it's really good still to reach out to your friends if you're not seeing them as much. I know you're probably already doing this and you've already heard of maybe apps such as House Party app I've started using. You probably know loads that I don't know about, but even just a Skype with a friend in the morning or in the evening, a quick one, see their actual face rather than do it on the phone or text, because that makes a huge difference. And as I say, you can also keep your learning social at times. There's no reason why you can't study with a mate via Skype and just have them there and talk about the topic as well at times. Okay, so that is 4 ways to stay motivated. There's loads more that I'm going to be covering in future episodes. I hope this has been useful for you. Until next time, see you later and stay safe.